As the sun rises, casting its golden rays across the land, we are reminded of the promise found in Psalm 121, a profound declaration of faith and reliance on God. This psalm, often referred to as the Song of Ascents, has been a source of comfort and strength for countless believers throughout generations. It reflects the heart of a traveler, a pilgrim journeying toward Jerusalem, seeking solace and protection amidst uncertainties. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? These opening words set the tone for this sacred text, inviting us to ponder the source of our strength. The mountains, towering and majestic, symbolize both the challenges we face and the grandeur of God's creation. In ancient Israel, travelers would gaze upon these hills, often fraught with fears of dangers lurking in the shadows. Yet, this psalm reminds us that our help does not come from the mountains themselves or the earthly strength we possess, but from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. The historical backdrop of Psalm 121 enriches its message. As the Israelites made their way to Jerusalem for the annual festivals, they encountered treacherous terrains and potential threats. It was a journey of faith, a physical and spiritual ascent toward the presence of God. This pilgrimage is a metaphor for our own life's journey, marked by trials and tribulations that can leave us feeling vulnerable. Yet the psalmist assures us, "He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber." In a world that often feels overwhelming, this truth resonates deeply. The imagery of God as our vigilant guardian offers profound reassurance. Unlike human protectors who may grow weary or distracted, God is ever aware, tirelessly watching over us, attentive to our every need. His vigilance is unwavering, a powerful reminder that we are never alone. Furthermore, the psalm speaks to the intimate relationship we share with our Creator. The Lord watches over you, the Lord is your shade at your right hand. In ancient times, the right hand symbolized strength and favor. Thus, to have the Lord as our shade signifies His protective presence in our lives, shielding us from the trials that seek to overwhelm us. As we delve deeper into Psalm 121 in this series, we will uncover the layers of trust it calls us to embrace, trust that transcends our circumstances. As we rise to face each day, let us remember to lift our eyes not just to the mountains, but to the One who created them. Join us as we explore how this beautiful psalm can transform our morning prayers, igniting a deeper trust in God's unwavering protection and guidance. Together, let us seek the heart of our Savior, who invites us to cast our burdens upon Him and rest in His everlasting arms. With each step forward, may we learn to trust God today as we journey through life, leaning on His promises of help and protection. As the sun peaks over the horizon, casting a golden hue upon the waking world, we turn our hearts to the ancient words of Psalm 121. This psalm, attributed to the pilgrims who journeyed to Jerusalem, serves as a timeless reminder of divine vigilance and care. The hills surrounding the city were not just geographical features. They symbolized the challenges and uncertainties faced along life's journey. "I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from?" asked the psalmist. In this moment, let us pause and reflect. The hills represent both a sanctuary and a source of potential peril. They tower above, majestic yet daunting, much like the trials that loom in our lives. Yet, the psalmist immediately redirects our gaze from the hills to the true source of help. "My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." Here lies a profound truth. Our strength does not arise from human capability or earthly support, but from the Creator who crafted the very mountains before us. In the days of the psalmist, travel was perilous, filled with uncertainty. Pilgrims often faced threats from wild animals, bandits, and the elements themselves. Yet, amidst these dangers, they found solace in their unwavering faith. They knew that their journey was not merely a physical one, but a spiritual pilgrimage where trust in God was paramount. Today, as we navigate the complexities of modern life, we too encounter our own hills. Be they health issues, financial struggles, or relational conflicts, the same God who watched over the travelers of old watches over us today. He will not let your foot slip, the psalmist assures us. It invites us to consider God as our constant guardian, one who is ever present amidst our vulnerabilities. The imagery of slipping reminds us of the precariousness of our human existence. Just as a traveler could stumble upon rocky paths, we often find ourselves losing our footing in a world filled with distractions and fears. But take heart. He who watches over you will not slumber. The God of Israel is neither distant nor indifferent. He is vigilant, awake, and deeply invested in our well-being. Moreover, this assurance extends beyond our daily trials. Verse 5 proclaims, "The Lord watches over you, the Lord is your shade at your right hand." In the harsh Middle Eastern sun, shade was invaluable. It offered protection from the heat and exhaustion. Likewise, God provides us with refuge, a place of rest amid life's chaotic storms. He envelops us with His presence, shielding us from harm. As we venture further into the depths of Psalm 121, we sense an invitation to trust unabashedly. Our morning prayers can rise like incense, reflecting our acknowledgement of our dependence on God. In this sacred dialogue, we surrender our worries, anticipating His guidance and shelter. With each new day, may we embrace the assurance found in these words, stepping boldly into our lives, knowing that we are cradled in the hands of the Almighty. As we move forward, let us continue to explore how this psalm speaks to our hearts, reminding us of the unwavering support available to us as we journey in faith and trust. As we delve deeper into the heart of Psalm 121, we are reminded of the unwavering promise of divine protection. The psalmist begins with an earnest declaration, "I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from?" This poignant question reflects the struggles faced by many in the ancient world. The hills, often associated with places of worship and a symbol of the divine, were also perilous, filled with potential dangers and uncertainties. In our own lives, we too may find ourselves looking to various sources for help, our careers, relationships, or even our own strength. Yet the psalmist quickly reassures us, "My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." Here lies the crux of our faith. Our help does not depend on the shifting sands of our circumstances, but on the everlasting foundation of God's love and power. This affirmation reminds us of a historical context where the Israelites faced constant threats, from violent nations surrounding them to the hardships of their own journeys. They learned to find solace and strength in the God who created both the heavens above and the earth beneath. As we continue through the psalm, we hear the comforting words, "He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber." This sentiment invites us into a deeper understanding of God's vigilance over our lives. In the ancient Near East, the concept of a guardian deity was common, yet here we find a God who does more than guard. He is attentive and ever watchful. Unlike human guards who may tire, God remains alert, continually aware of our every step. Picture a weary traveler on a rugged path, the sun setting behind distant hills. Each step is fraught with uncertainty, yet with the assurance of divine watchfulness, the journey becomes a pilgrimage of faith. The psalmist emphasizes that not only does God protect us from physical dangers, but He also guards our hearts and minds. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. In the biblical context, shade signifies comfort and relief from the scorching sun, a metaphor for the burdens we carry. In the heat of our daily struggles, the Lord stands beside us, offering both protection and peace. It is a promise that transcends time and space, inviting us to trust in His presence amidst the noise and chaos of life. As we reflect on these powerful truths, we cannot overlook the significance of the final verses. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. This assurance is not merely for the moment, but stretches into eternity. It calls us to embrace a posture of trust, surrendering our fears and anxieties to the one who holds our future. And so, as we continue to lift our eyes, let us be reminded that true help comes not from the hills or the world around us, but from the Lord, who is faithful and true. In our next part, we will explore how we can respond to this promise with a heart of gratitude and an expression of faith, stepping boldly into the protection and guidance that God offers each day. As we continue our exploration of Psalm 121, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment, one that resonates deeply with our human experience and our quest for divine assurance. The psalmist, in his unwavering trust, declares, "I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from?" Psalm 121:1. This simple yet profound question invites us to reflect on the sources of our strength amid life's uncertainties. In ancient Israel, the hills and mountains were not just geographical features. They symbolized both refuge and challenge. As pilgrims journeyed to Jerusalem, they encountered steep terrains, reminding them of life's arduous journeys and the divine assistance needed along the way. The hills were often associated with the gods of the surrounding nations. Yet, the psalmist's answer is not found in those false deities. He asserts with confidence, "My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." Psalm 121:2. This declaration holds profound significance. In acknowledging the Lord as the Creator, the psalmist reinforces the belief that God is both transcendent and immanent. He is above all, yet intimately involved in our lives. He created the universe, yet He cares for every detail of our existence. How comforting it is to know that the same God who flung stars into the cosmos watches over us as we navigate our daily struggles. The psalmist continues, "He will not let your foot slip." Psalm 121:3. This imagery is powerful. It evokes the idea of a traveler on a precarious path where every step requires balance and focus. Life often feels this way, doesn't it? We walk through uncertainty and it's easy to stumble. But here we find hope. God promises stability. He is our protector, ensuring that even when we falter, His hand is there to catch us. Moreover, the psalmist reassures us, "Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep." Psalm 121. Unlike earthly guardians who may tire or overlook our needs, our God is vigilant and alert. This verse invites us to rest in the knowledge that we are never alone. There is a divine presence tirelessly watching over us. As we approach the climax of this prayerful reflection, we are reminded of the complexities of life, trials, tribulations, fears, and doubts. Yet Psalm 121 does not shy away from these realities. Instead, it offers a promise. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 121:8. This assurance transcends time and circumstance. It envelops us in the promise of divine protection, not just in the moments of crisis, but throughout our journey, today and always. As we prepare our hearts for the final part of this reflection, let us take a moment to embrace the truth of these words. Trust in God is a call to surrender our worries into His capable hands. It is an invitation to see beyond our immediate circumstances and recognize the vastness of His care, His power, and His love. As we continue, let us open our hearts to the transformative power of prayer, anchoring ourselves in the relentless faithfulness of the God who assures us, "I am with you always." As we conclude our journey through Psalm 121, let us reflect on the profound message it brings to our lives today. This beautiful psalm, attributed to the pilgrim people of Israel, echoes in our hearts as a reminder of God's unwavering presence and protection. "I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." Psalm 121:1-2. Imagine the Israelites making their way to Jerusalem, their eyes set on the hills that surrounded the city. These hills were not just geographical landmarks, they represented both challenges and promises. It was amidst those heights that the faithful sought refuge, a place where they could lift their eyes and find assurance in the Creator. In our own lives, we too face hills and valleys. The challenges may come in the form of hardships, uncertainties, or fears that threaten to overwhelm us. But just as the psalmist reassures us, we can find solace by looking upwards, beyond our circumstances, to the one who fashioned the universe. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Psalm 121:3-4. This promise is profound. God is ever vigilant. He is our constant guardian. In historical context, the people of Israel often faced external threats, yet they learned to trust in God's providence. Just as He protected them in their times of need, He extends that same protection to us today. As we acknowledge God's watchful care, let us also reflect on the ways we can invite His presence into our daily lives. It begins with prayer, an intimate conversation with the Almighty. When we set aside time each morning to seek His face, we are aligning our hearts with His will and opening ourselves to His guidance. "Lord, keep me safe today," we can pray, echoing the heartfelt supplications of the psalmist. "Be my shade at my right hand. The sun will not harm me by day, nor the moon by night." Psalm 121:5-6. This acknowledgement of God's protective nature allows us to walk in confidence, knowing that He stands with us against life's adversities. As we draw to a close, I invite you to take a moment to meditate on these truths. Where are the hills in your life? What challenges weigh heavy on your heart? Lay them before the Lord and trust in His promise to sustain and protect you. Let us commit to sharing this message of hope with others. In a world filled with uncertainty, the assurance of Psalm 121 can be a beacon of light. Encourage your loved ones to seek the Lord's help and protection, and remind them that no matter the trials they face, they are never alone. So today, lift your eyes to the hills. Trust in the Lord, for He is your help, now and forevermore. Amen.